I'll be talking about the history of computers. To begin with, have you ever imagined how fast and exponential the growth of computers has been in the recent years? Many of you, just like me, might have seen those big screen computers in your schools, libraries, and college campuses in your childhood. If in just a decade's time it grew to the little bitty computers like our laptop and smartphones and tablets, you can imagine how much growth and development it went throughout its history. In the very early days, in the prehistoric time, the computers were just a device to calculate and do arithmetic calculations. To begin with, I have Abacus here in the 4th century BC. Later on, John Napier came up with Napier's bones, which would use logarithmic calculations. And after that, Blaise Pascal came up with his mechanical calculator, which could add up to 8 digits at a time. But later on, everything changed when Charles Babbage came up with his difference and analytical engines. As per a report from Kringley, an online magazine, Charles Babbage invented his analytical engine in 1821, which could do the basic stuff that the computers still do, and that is to take information, process them, and give an output. After that, the computers go into their early years. That is the 3 generations of computers: the first, the second, and the third. The first generation started in 1942. The first generation computers were very huge. They consumed a lot of power. They were slow in processing and were very expensive. The second generation computers, which ranged from 56 to 1964, were comparatively faster than the first generation, used more space, they consumed less time, and they were less expensive. The third generation, however, was a complete change. In 1965 through 1980s, they were very portable, they consumed a lot less space, and they were highly affordable, so they grew in popularity. Now that I've talked about the early years, let's see how the computers are in modern days. The first thing is they're amazingly fast, and they store tons of data. As per a report here presented by the Pingdom Post, it says the computers these days, they can store way over 1 terabyte of data, whereas the storage capacities in the 50s and 60s used to be 10 kilobytes. And the size of computers also reduced considerably, leading to the development of these portable devices like smartphones and tablets that we have. But the other thing that led to the growth of population of the computers in the modern days is the use of networking and communication. The capability to communicate extended its reach towards a lot of consumers all over the world. As you all know, the computers used to be independent and they used to be on their own during the early stages. But later on, the development of ARPANET, which is the older version of the usual internet that we currently use, changed the whole scenario for the computing department. And then after that, you all already know that these days computers, they can communicate with any other devices all around the world, which made it popular among the people. Now that we've talked about the present days, let's see how the future might look like. The future is likely to be composed of artificial intelligence. Now, AI stands for artificial intelligence, which means the ability of the machine or the computer to think on their own and make choices on their own. Now, the AI, the research on AI actually began in the University of Dartmouth about 60 years ago, according to an article posted by Sankland. But you can already see the examples of AI all around the world today. Like you use the ATM every day, there's AI right there for you. You use the smart vacuum cleaners, even the smartphones that track your health and other activities. They're also the present form of AI. So the future is likely to be composed of AI. So all in all, computers have come a long way from where they began. and the growth itself is amazing, which makes us think about the coming years. The way it developed in the past few decades, it makes us wonder, is there anything with computers that won't be able to do in a couple of years or decades? Thank you all.